Welcome to this week's Powerback episode. Today, we're going to talk about connecting with your inner child. This is work that is so near and dear to my heart, reconnecting with who you were before the world told you what you should be by embracing your fun, your play, your silliness, your adventure, and incorporating that version of you that lives inside of you every single day in your everyday life. Yes, in your relationships. Yes, with your time alone. And yes, even in your profession. So if you've been feeling a little stagnant lately, a little flat, feeling like you need a little pick me up, some pizzazz, some fun, some adventure back in your life, then today's episode on reconnecting with your inner child just might do the trick. Before we start playing today, I first want to let you know a couple of different ways that I love to support you outside of the Gutsy podcast. If you've been looking for community, the people that just get you, like-minded people, driven women, people that are just like, there is more to life than this, then the Gutsy Collective might be a great next step for you. There's a few different ways that you can join. There's currently a free Facebook group. And just so you know, you're the first to know, launching later this month is going to be the Gutsy Collective Inner Circle, which is going to be a paid community with group coaching and all kinds of resources. If that's tickling your fancy, send me a message on social media on your preferred platform, and I will make sure that you get added to the list to notify first. I also love to do one-on-one coaching. So if you're more of a one-on-one type of person, you really want to dig deep very quickly, you want to get clarity, you want to gain momentum, you want to know where to focus your time and your efforts, and to shift the thoughts, beliefs, and patterns that have been stopping you from being your fullest self, then one-on-one coaching might be the thing for you. No matter which level of support you crave, go to LauraAura.com where you can learn more about these programs and services. And it would be my truest honor to guide you further on your journey to rediscovering who you are and what you actually want. All right, my friends, let's dig into this just absolutely beautiful topic of reconnecting with your inner child. Fun, quick story. I often get asked about the name LauraAura and where it comes from and what it means. And it's such a special name and energy and embodiment that I would love to share with you. So to me, LauraAura is the embodiment of all of me. It is my inner child, my playfulness, my adventure, my silliness, my goofball, my creative genius. It is all of that fun stuff that I was as a child. And it's also my higher self, the wisdom, the knowledge, the trust, the confidence, the higher version of me that just knows who I am and what I'm intended to do on this earth. And then, of course, there is my present day self, the person that you hear every single week, the person that you see on Reels every single week. This is the person that gets to be the catalyst for bringing these pieces together. And so LauraAura to me is the embodiment of all three versions of me. It is my purest level of alignment. It is my purest level of joy, is where my ease, my peace, and my true fulfillment really comes from. And I hope this for you as well. You don't have to put a name to it. It doesn't have to be anything, but it is a feeling. It is a spirit. It is this awakening and this aliveness that, like, oh my gosh, I fucking remember. I remember who I am. I remember what it feels like to feel like me before the world told me what I should be, before the conditioning told me what I needed to do, before all of this crap happened, before all this influence came into my life. My embodiment of me, my gosh, that, my friend, is like a fast track for everything that you desire in your life and in your business. And if you really think about it, when is the last time that you truly allowed yourself to play, to dance, to be goofy or silly, to color in a coloring book or play some video games for hours? My husband and I love to jump on some Mario Kart. Look, my character is Yoshi. There is no negotiations. It's just done. When is the last time that you painted for the hell of it, or redecorated a room because you felt like it, or colored in a coloring book? When's the last time that you played dress up in your own closet or went to a store and played with the clothes there? I know how life can be heavy, and certain circumstances and past crap and everything that's going on in the world can feel so dense sometimes, so out of control, so heavy and confusing, overwhelming, scary sometimes. But it is in your control, your power to say yes to your inner child, the innocence, the playfulness, the adventure, this beautiful being that was just simply who she was. And I know that as an adult, there's responsibilities and there's I got to be professional, right? I can't be seen as like playing around because then nobody's going to take me seriously. Or I should do this and I shouldn't do that. And I've got a million different schedules that I'm balancing and I got to do all these things all the time. All right, there's things that I really want to do, but the money's stopping me and my thoughts are all over the place and I overthink it and then I take the joy out of it. That's what ends up happening. We unintentionally suck the joy right out of our moments before we even get started. I want to share a quick story with you. So, a couple of weeks ago, there were just like rainstorms going through Pennsylvania. It felt like every single day. And there was this one particular day where it was just this like big, bountiful rain, right? Like the big fat rain, the kind that if you walked outside, you're like, I would get fucking drenched. Well, I happened to be at home and I got this tug inside of me, right? Or your intuition is often quiet, it's subtle, and we all feel it in different places. Me, I truly feel and hear it in my actual gut. So I got this gut feeling. It was like, go play, go run around in the rain. And at first, I got this glimmer, this spark. I was like, oh, that sounds like fun. And then you know what happened? My fucking brain. That's what happened. The part of my brain was like, I don't want to have to deal with all that wet laundry. If I go out there, it's probably cold and I don't want to be cold because that feels gross. Oh, I'm gonna have to come in and I'm gonna take all the clothes off and I'm gonna have to get a shower. I'm gonna have to wash my hair and it's not a hair wash day. We all know, right? Like the hair wash day, it's a schedule. And I kept coming back to like, what are the neighbors gonna think? Because I live in a neighborhood right now. Like, what are the neighbors going to think? They're going to look outside. They're going to think that I'm stupid. They're going to be like, what are you doing? I wasn't wearing a bra. So, Lord only knows what you would be able to see or not see. And I started doing this whole fucking rigmarole, all these excuses, all these reasons why I shouldn't. And that is the trap, my friend, the mental trap where you talk yourself out of it before you even get started. You have an incredibly small window of opportunity. We're talking like 5 seconds to gain attention to what you're saying and then shift yourself into conscious thinking. So, since I have practiced the art of being aware of my thoughts and my feelings, I was like, literally out loud, I went, what the hell? I stopped thinking, I opened the front door, and I literally walked into the rain. And at first, it was a little uncomfortable, and I was like, kind of kicking around a little bit. And then I was like, fuck it. Fuck it. I'm going to play. I have not done this in years. This rain feels incredible on my body. The earth on my bare feet feels invigorating. I saw puddles and I went over and I started jumping in them and I'm kicking it around and I'm spinning around in circles and I'm throwing my hands up and pulling my hair back out of my face and I'm laughing. My friend, I started laughing so fucking hard that I almost started to cry because in that moment, I remembered what Laura feels like. I remember what the inner child of me loved to do, my true spirit, the purest version of me. And do I have to do laundry? Yeah. Do I need to take a shower? Absolutely. What are the neighbors going to think? Who fucking cares? I hope that there was at least one neighbor that looked out the window and said, you know what? I would love to do that too. And maybe, just maybe they will. I played outside for, I couldn't even tell you how long. And when I tell you the inner peace that I felt after that, the joy, the reconnectedness, the inspiration, I slept so good that night. Like when I got in a shower, I was just so proud of myself. And it's such a simple thing, right? This act of playing, this act of connecting with ourselves, this act of allowing ourselves to do things as an adult that we used to enjoy as a child. When we embrace those feelings, when we embrace those desires to be playful and adventurous, you reconnect with your soul on a level that is literally indescribable. When we forget to play, when we stop connecting with our inner child, we get uninspired, we get unhealthy, we get weighed down by responsibilities, we get disconnected from ourself and our purpose in this world. Playing allows you to reconnect on a deeper level, and it helps you to navigate some of the challenging parts of life with a little bit more ease and grace. And why? Because you are more connected with yourself. You are more grounded. You are more in tune with who you are and what you need. As the years have gone on, it's gotten easier and easier to forget the things that you used to love to do as a child. It's easy to forget that the inner child in you is not gone. She's with you all the time, and she needs you, maybe now more than ever. I've done some pretty profound healing work through inner child work. And one of the things that I learned that sticks with me the most is that I get to be now what she needed then. And I want to give that gift to you. You get to be now what your inner child needed then, to be seen, to be heard, to be playful, to be silly, to be adventurous, to be hugged and loved on, to be guided through tough situations, to know that she is supported divinely and deeply without question. I know that when I'm feeling anxious and scared, I tend to shut down. And in the past, I would get pissed off about myself, right? Like, why am I doing this? And I need to just get my shit together. I need to pull up my bootstraps and just keep going, right? But in that moment, that's my inner child saying, hey, I need someone to love on me. I need someone to let me know that it's going to be okay. Or when I get super pissed off and I feel full of rage and anger and so like really big emotions, I can remember back to a temper tantrum or a time when I'm like, I just need someone to fucking hear me. Or when I'm feeling curious and maybe a little bit rebellious. It's a time when my inner child is like, hey, I kind of want to explore something new. Something feels interesting to me. Can you come along and guide me along the way? So many of the inner emotions that you experience is an opportunity to hear your inner child. That's her talking to you. That's her saying, I need you. I need you. And instead of pushing her down, pushing it away, trying to hide the feelings, trying to just plow through things, trying to be the responsible one, what if you started to tend to her? What if you started to listen to what she was saying, to feel her emotions, to guide her through situations? You know, when I think about when I'm having like a really tough moment, I think about visually talking to my younger self. How would I speak to a child in this situation? And I'm not going to turn around and scold her and be unkind to her. I want to nurture her. I want her to know that she's loved. And that's a really big fucking difference from what I was brought up in. So if you're listening to this and you're like, I didn't know what that was like, I fucking hear you. I did not grow up in an atmosphere that was full of love and hugs and kisses and support and companionship. I grew up in an atmosphere that was full of hate and anger and abuse, a lot of neglect and abandonment. And so, this opportunity as an adult to reparent my inner child, for you to reparent your inner child, to be the person that she needed then, to be that person for her now, my friend, your healing is literally in your own hands. Look, whatever may or may not have happened in your past was not your fault. You didn't deserve that horseshit. Your inner child was pure and should have stayed that way. I don't say should have very often, but your innocence should have been protected. And if it was not, I am sorry. I say sorry for my past and I say sorry for yours. And I also remind you and I in this situation that we are now in control, that we are able to reparent our child, that we have the ability to nurture ourselves, to speak kindly, to lean into the things that make you feel alive, to reconnect, with that inner child to say, hi, what do you want to do right now? And then allowing her to. For me, a couple weeks ago, it was allowing her to go play in the rain. Gosh, she was so fucking happy. And you know what happens after that? That joy expands on your energy. Your aura literally gets bigger and more vibrant and pulsates. Your clarity starts to come to you again. It's like you've cleansed out a part of you. It's like you've plugged back in and you're like, okay, now I can do this next thing. Now the next thing that I've got to tackle feels a little bit more palatable. The next idea that I have feels more creative and expansive. The next move that I make, I know that she's coming along with me. And I can tap into that pure connected joy anytime that I want. So, how do you reconnect with your inner child? How do you tap into that pure joy and excitement? Well, one of the very first things is to remember. And this is a really fun, beautiful journaling exercise. Remember. What are some of the things that you used to love to do as a child that you haven't done in a really long time? Maybe you liked going on barefoot walks in the woods on an adventure. Maybe you were a master artist and always putting unique things together to see what you could create. Maybe you like to sing or dance or put on plays for people. Maybe you like to tinker and build and craft things. What are the things that used to bring you so much joy that you haven't done in a really long time? Now, a second part of this exercise, if A, you're either not sure, or B, you're like, okay, I've got that. What else can I do? The next piece is to then discover what brings you joy now. Because maybe the things that you used to do no longer interest you. Maybe that has evolved and you're like, I've tried some of those things. It's just not really the thing anymore. Now you get to go on a discovery, try things, do things. When you feel that little intuitive voice, like the voice that said, go out and play in the rain. And I was like, excuse me, start to pay attention to those little voices, the little nudges. When you drive by a store and you see that there's a paint night and you're like, well, that's kind of interesting. And then you like never think about it ever again. Okay, let's build some awareness. Okay, I said that feels interesting. So what if I just book a session? What if I grab a friend and I go do that? Because here's the tricky part, my friend. Your brain is going to want to get involved, especially if you've been like kind of straight laced or like really in a routine or haven't broken out of a pattern in quite some time. Your brain is going to fight you. Oh, I don't know how to paint. I'm probably going to look stupid. Everyone else is going to be better than mine. I don't have time for that shit. It's probably too expensive. Look, we can come up with all the excuses. Do you want to reconnect with your inner child and have some fun and take a load off of you? Okay. Then go book the fucking paint night. You're not going to become the next Picasso. You're going to discover if painting is something that you enjoy or not. And you might go and you might hate it. And that's okay because you tried, you had a night out, and now you know. Or you might go and be like, I forgot how much I really love to paint. And then maybe you trot your ass over to Michael's, you get some craft supplies, and now you're painting at your house. Remember, you have a very short window of opportunity, 5 seconds. As soon as you start to hear or feel your body close in, clench in, or talk yourself out of it, stop thinking, start doing. This is your opportunity to catch the thoughts and feelings in the moment and shift them for a different outcome. And lastly, play, my friend. Life is too incredibly short to always be bogged down by fucking responsibility. Dance in the rain, get up at the wedding and be the first person on the dance floor. Try a new hobby, hang out with your friends, blare some music and trot around your fucking house naked. I don't care what you do, but start to have some fucking fun in your life again. Have fun by being her, the inner child, the playfulness, the giddiness, the one that's like, I don't really have any reason. I just want to do it. And so therefore I am going to, because I can promise you, if you start to infuse fun back in your life, you start to come alive again. And when you come alive again, you are more adventurous. You're more gutsy in your decision making. You're more decisive in your decision making. You're a better person for yourself and for everyone around you. I have found that any time that I have given myself permission to have fun, great things always follow it. And so the more you allow yourself to do this, the less permission you have to give yourself, the more it just starts to become your daily self. And just in case you're interested, a couple of weeks ago, I posted a picture after I came in from the rain on my Facebook and Instagram account. So you'll have to scroll back and check it out. You'll see I'm just drenched in rain and I'm smiling ear to fucking ear. So go play, my friends. Enjoy life. You don't need my permission to do it, but something tells me that you needed to hear that today. If you would like to connect on a deeper level, I would love to support you. Go to LauraAura.com. It's where you can sign up for the Gutsy Collective, which is my online community. You can sign up for one-on-one coaching if you want to go deep and make some big shifts in your life. And you can access other resources and materials to help you get out of your own way and start doing the shit that you actually want to do. Connect with me on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram using @thatLauraAura. And as always, until I see you next time, stay gutsy.